The story of Perseus begins with a tragic prophecy. Acrisius, the king of Argos, received a prophecy from an oracle that one day his grandson would kill him. Acrisius had no sons to secure his lineage, but he had one daughter named Danaë. In his desperation to prevent the prophecy from coming true, Acrisius locked Danaë away in a bronze tower, deep underground, believing that this would keep her from marrying or bearing children. However, the will of the gods was stronger than the plans of mortals. Zeus, the king of the gods, saw Danaë's beauty and desired her for himself. Not even a bronze tower could stop him. He transformed into a shower of gold, slipped through the cracks and reached Danaë. After revealing himself in human form, Danaë gave birth to Perseus, the son of Zeus. When Acrisius discovered the birth of Perseus, he feared the prophecy but didn't want to kill his grandson directly, as that might anger the gods. Instead, he chose another solution. He placed Danaë and Perseus in a wooden chest and cast them into the sea, hoping they would perish far away from him. Perseus and his mother Danaë were saved by the protection of Zeus. The chest drifted to the island of Seriphos, where they were found by a fisherman named Dictys, the brother of King Polydectes, the ruler of the island. Dictys welcomed Danaë and Perseus into his home and cared for them as if they were family. Perseus grew up on the island, becoming a strong and courageous young man. His bond with his mother was strong, but trouble began when King Polydectes became infatuated with Danaë and wanted to marry her. Danaë refused his advances, and the king, frustrated, sought to rid himself of Perseus, who had become an obstacle. Polydectes devised a plan to send Perseus on a dangerous and seemingly impossible mission. Polydectes claimed he was planning to marry another princess and demanded that all men on the island present him with a wedding gift. Perseus, being poor and unable to afford a gift, rashly declared that he would bring the king the head of Medusa as a gift. Medusa was one of the three Gorgon sisters, and the only one who was mortal. Her gaze could turn anyone who looked at her to stone, making the task of killing her almost impossible. However, Perseus was not alone in this quest. He received divine help from the gods Athena and Hermes. Athena gave him a reflective bronze shield, which he could use to see Medusa without directly looking at her. Hermes gifted Perseus a sharp sword and winged sandals, allowing him to fly. The nymphs provided Perseus with a magical bag to carry Medusa's head once he had decapitated her. Before Perseus could confront Medusa, he had to find her location, which was no easy feat. He sought out the three ancient sisters who shared one eye and one tooth between them. Perseus cleverly stole their eye and forced them to reveal Medusa's whereabouts in exchange for its return. When Perseus arrived at Medusa's lair, he found her asleep. Using the reflective shield to avoid her deadly gaze, he carefully approached and, with a swift stroke of his sword, severed her head. As he placed the head in his magical bag, two creatures sprang forth from her blood. One of them was Pegasus, the winged horse. On his journey back, Perseus flew over the kingdom of Ethiopia, where he saw a beautiful princess named Andromeda chained to a rock by the sea.